education has such remarkable institutional power and privilege that often goes unused. It's not simply the ability to affect and build strong students, faculty, and staff. It's also the ability to impact and engage and invite community to understand.
And so climate change isn't just about warmer temperatures, it's about instability, about the difficulty of knowing what's coming. But the good news is climate science can help us know what's coming, help us plan.
We need to ask questions about what it means to support students inside and outside the classroom and continue to make going to university a viable and safe choice for students.
We have been on the ground observing for many years among the climate adaptation profession, which is increasing rates of burnout and the experience of having anxiety, depression, and at times other mental health impacts related to the work that we do. And this is largely because we see the loss of environment, we see impacts on communities.
Miami in particular, the city, the region, has been referred to as ground zero for climate change. We experience flooding and extreme weather every year. And of course, sea level rise is an acute existential threat.
Society will require an environmentally educated populace to sustain our lifestyle and save the planet. That will mean that equity and justice should become a natural component of all curricula, and that we should train a workforce for an equitable transition to a renewable economy.
It's college students, it's companies, it's our workforce. Everyone needs to have a thorough understanding of climate and how it's affecting us in our world. So in terms of takeaways, I urge you to recognize the wide-ranging and multifaceted ways that climate impacts your students, your organizations, your missions, and your communities.
Higher ed has a teaching staff of specialists, and very few of those specialists consider climate to be in their specialty. And so one of the things that I think is most needed is a kind of climate literacy for faculty who aren't climate scientists.
A lot of our students, as they're going through the process, is looking for jobs. Not everybody is going to work for a startup company or a tech company or a new energy company. Some of these existing legacy industries will have the opportunity to be green as well. And so we think that in this report, we talk about is that all jobs have the potential to become quality green jobs.
The role of the two-year college cannot be underestimated. We really are an economic engine when it comes to workforce training and development.
You need Indigenous voices at the table. You need Indigenous voices part of the design. You need Indigenous voices part of co-producing and co-designing research.
It's sort of a core feature of the role of labor unions and the partnership between labor unions and higher ed over the years, which is that labor unions really are a bulwark for workers in terms of making sure that the jobs that they're moving into can become good jobs.
Our consortium brings all that together. As an individual institution, we can do a lot, but as a consortium coming together, we can be as competitive as any other institutions coming together when we use our strengths.
The Inflation Reduction Act basically allows us to do things like install solar panels, and get a lot of money back. And there are now ways that nonprofit institutions can do it even if they don't owe the federal government money.
I think what you guys can all do is encourage that catalyst within students, that frustration and that story. That is the power that they all have. And from that, there's only endless realms of possibilities in which they can grow, right?
Our opportunity through higher education is to think about, where do I begin? What's my me conversation? Expand that to the you conversation. What does the institution have the ability to influence? And then how do we do it together to create change?